Hey there, welcome to Local Listing Mastery Power Hour. Now, are you ready to unlock the secret sauce to local search and watching new customers find you faster than ever? Hey everyone, I'm Trisha, your guide on this journey to local listing mastery. Now, just like with your Google business profiles, local listings, otherwise known as citations, can be a powerful marketing tool working for you 24/7. With over 25 years of marketing experience, I've seen the incredible effect that citations can have on upping local SEO results and attracting local customers. I'll equip you with the knowledge and strategies to supercharge your local search visibility. That translates to more website traffic, more local customers walking through your door, and ultimately, more success for your business. By the end of the course, you're going to be a local listing pro. But don't worry, this isn't just basic stuff. We'll be diving into insider secrets only the savviest marketers know to give you the edge you need to stand out from the competition. So get ready because we're about to cover the power of citations and how they can supercharge your local SEO, boost your visibility, and increase your traffic. Proven strategies to claim and optimize your existing listings for maximum impact. Powerful techniques to find and secure new citations across high-value directories. How you can stay ahead of the competition in local search and attract and convert more customers to your business. And we're going to cover so much more. Now, all you need to do is show up to these lessons, be ready to learn, and be ready to put what you learn into action. This course is about supercharging your results and getting more customers, and I'll be there cheering you on every step of the way. So, are you ready to unlock the power of local listings and increase your local visibility? If so, let's dive in and dominate your local search game together. Do you know that frustration of crickets chirping when you should be hearing your phone ringing? Well, you're not alone. I spent years trying to get my customers to rank on the first page of Google. I'm talking about countless hours on trying to optimize articles for SEO, doing competitor research, doing keyword research, and so much more. So I really wish after all that I could tell you that I cracked the code. But the truth is that ranking on Google nowadays takes a lot more work than ever. Now, before I scare you off, what I did learn was a simpler process. And today, especially with the power of AI, I created a set of mini courses that you can learn in only a few minutes that would make the biggest impact on your Google ranking. And I mean simple things that in only a few minutes a day could really make the difference in bringing in real or virtual customers to your business. Because I can tell you right now that there are people looking for your business and who do want to work with you if they only knew you existed. Along with many years of hands-on marketing experience and my #1 best-selling course on Google Maps, Google My Business, I've been able to help hundreds of customers unlock the strategies to ranking higher on Google. But my students wanted more, and there's so much more I could teach you about how to rank higher on local Google results. And that's what this set of mini courses is designed to do, to get you real results with only a few minutes of learning. And I decided to begin it all with the course you're on right now, and that's with the power of citation building. Now, citations will help customers find you, and that means an automatic boost to your business's online visibility. Plus, as you soon will find out, the work to build and list your citations will be easy when you follow my model. So get ready, because you're about to take a big step needed to show up more on local searches and attract more local customers. So what exactly is a citation? Well, a citation is a listing of your business on the internet that includes details of your business, such as your business name, your business address, and your business phone number, otherwise known as NAP. And it typically also includes your website URL. So this could be, for example, like when you created your Facebook business page and you had to list information about your business, or your Google business profile and you had to list information about your business. Or let's say you created something on Eventbrite or another event listing where they asked you information about your business, or if you've already done some local directories on your own. So if you've listed on like Yellow Pages or Yelp already, those are all examples of you putting your business information out there in the online world. Now, citations are an incredibly important starting point if you want to increase your online visibility, but also if you want to increase your online authority. Citations are also a very crucial part of local SEO, and they work especially well if you work to keep your business information consistent across all directories, and if you work to consistently build the number of citations you have. And although citation signals will not influence your local Google ranking as much as something like link building will, they definitely will still influence your ranking and are one of the easiest ways to increase your local visibility while getting you eyeballs from different online sources. So let me show you one big way on how citations can really help your local business. So let's say, for example, that you're an electrician. So a typical search, if you're looking for an electrician, and let's say you lived in Toronto, you would just go into Google and you would type in electrician Toronto. So what you notice, of course, is the Google Maps 3-pack, which is up here. So this is the sponsored ad at the top. And then you've got the wonderful 3-pack, which you want to aim to be on if you're optimizing your Google business profile. So you could be listed up there, but what I want to show you is if you scroll down a little bit more. So Home Stars, that's a place that you can add a citation. I believe that's a company. Company Yelp. That's another place you could list a citation. Let's see, a company, Bark.com. It's another place that you could list your company citation. Okay, company, yellowpages.ca. That's another place you can list your citation. So, there's Home Stars again. So let's imagine, for example, that you did some work on your local SEO and you also listed on multiple citation sites. So theoretically, people could see you in the Google 3-pack if you optimize your Google business. Okay, then they could see you, if they click on some of these citation sites, they could see you as one of the options in those. And then if you do a really good job of SEO, you could also have your business appearing on the first page. So if you're on, 4 or 5 of these different directories that people are finding on the first page of Google that they're looking at, if they want to find a reputable electrician, and then you're coming up in the 3-pack, and then you're also coming up as one of the businesses on the first page, and maybe you're even running a Google ad, which means you'll run up here. So that would mean that if somebody is looking for an electrician in Toronto and they're seeing your name not once, not twice, but a few times, just imagine how powerful that would be. And even if you don't run those paid ads, right, just from coming up organically, look how many times you could show up from someone doing a search and just looking at items on the first page of Google. So just one example of how powerful citations can be. And when your business is listed on trustworthy sites like these, it really helps build those trust signals with Google, and it helps Google authenticate your business. Plus, another big bonus for you is a lot of these sites allow customers to leave reviews. And you know how powerful reviews can be for your business and your online reputation. So, welcome back. So in this section and in the one following, I'm going to show you my easy 5-step process for building citations. So in this section, what we're going to go over is all the prep work I suggest you do before you actually start building citations. And then in the next section, we're actually going to start building those citations. Now, to help you out even further, down below this video, I've included 2 worksheets for you. In the first worksheet, it's basically going to be your master business worksheet. So what I suggest in it, you put your NAP, you put in your description, you put in any promotions you want to ever list, what type of photos, logo, location, all of that stuff goes onto the sheet. Now, it might sound very basic, but trust me, over time, you might forget what you originally listed somewhere and listed differently somewhere else. And remember, I said it's super important that when you do citations that it remains consistent, because the consistency is going to help with your trust signals to Google, and it's all going to help you rank better. So very, very important to just print it out right now and just begin using it. Okay, so that worksheet is really going to help you. The second worksheet I included below is going to help you keep track of your actual citations. So you're going to list where you put the citation, the URL, your login information, anything that's basically going to help keep you on track with where your citations are and help you remember what you actually listed on it. I also added a place for notes, so you can list things, for example, like if you have a citation pending, because sometimes they don't get approved right away. So that'll remind you to go ahead and follow up, and also to double check when it is up. And you just want to make sure that whatever you submitted is exactly what it looks like. So very, very good to keep that tracking sheet active as well. So go ahead and print those 2 sheets now, and then let's get started. Now, your business name, address, and phone number are all important parts of your online business identity. As mentioned, it's really important to keep these consistent, because consistency is what tells the search engines that your business is real and reliable. So now, before we move ahead, I want to show you how not to do this. So there was a local business that I started working with who sold burritos. Now, he complained to me that he just wasn't getting as much business as he used to. So after a little digging, which I'll show you how to do in just a moment, I found out that not only was his address not consistent everywhere, but he had a new order phone number and he forgot to update it on the most important online listings. So his address was 480 Main Street, Unit 2, but sometimes he would list it as just 480 Main Street, or sometimes he would put number 2-480 Main Street. Now, that likely didn't make too much of a difference, but it's still important to keep it consistent. But what was really hurting his business was not having that phone number correct. So just imagine how many frustrated customers there were out there that were hungry, really wanted a burrito, went into their favorite online directory, called, and had the wrong phone number. Don't let that be you. Make sure that your information is always correct across all your online directories. But Google does understand many abbreviations and slight variations as well. So for example, street versus ST, right? Avenue versus AVE, lane versus lane, and so on, or even shortcuts in your province. So I'm in Ontario. If I list it as ON, Google will still understand what that means. So are you a business that works from home, or for whatever reason, wherever you work, you want to keep that address hidden? That's okay. You can still build citations, and I'm going to show you how in lesson 3. So once your NAP is just the way you want it, you're going to come back here to your master citation worksheet and add it in here. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a very powerful business description. So first, let's have a look at the winning formula for converting viewers into action takers. A captivating headline that grabs attention and highlights your unique selling proposition. Bullet points highlighting what you offer and the results you deliver. A call to action that encourages the viewer to contact you or visit your business. For even more in-depth tips, be sure that you download the Master Business Description tip sheet included below this video. So now before we build the description, I want to know what type of person you are. So are you the type of person who wants to build your description out, copy and paste it, and use it the exact same way everywhere just to make your life a heck of a lot easier? Guilty, that would be me. Or are you the type of person who loves being original and you want to create a description, but you want to just change it up every once in a while just to keep things interesting? Okay, good for you for doing that, but I can tell you that's going to take a heck of a lot of time. So here's what I recommend. Do both. I did promise I would make this easy for you, right? So what I'm going to recommend is you create a master business description and then use it as a template. It's what I did for my customers. It just made my life and their lives so much easier, but it gives you the flexibility to be a little bit original. So I'll show you what that means. So the master description will cover everything from the winning formula that we just went over and a few new things to make your description even more powerful. And then once you have your master description, you're going to want to slightly adapt it for the different platforms that you list on. So for example, if you're a marketing agency and you're listing on a social media directory, then you're going to focus on talking about social media services that you offer as opposed to, let's say, video services that you offer. Or if a platform allows for longer descriptions, take advantage of the opportunity and use some additional details to highlight what makes you unique. You might also want to change your call to action depending on what platform you're on and what they will allow you to do. For example, if a platform allows a form, you might want to add a booking form so people could book appointments directly with you. So to make this process even easier for you, I created an amazing AI prompt, which you could find below. The AI prompt is designed to give you a very powerful description that's going to help convert viewers into customers for you. All right, so this is your first page of the AI-powered master description generator and success formula that I made for you guys. And basically, the first part's just letting you know that you could also refer to another document I created called Putting Together a Master Business Description, which basically gives you a whole bunch of tips. So I highly suggest you look at that one as well. Okay. Here on this sheet, I just put some very general tips that you should keep in mind. So the length of what you need for your description will vary based on the platform you're using. And also just a reminder to make sure that your NAP is consistent across all your listing sites. And to use short sentences, use bullet points, and review it regularly. And here is one more big tip. If you're using a platform that's a high traffic platform, here are some extra things that you might want to do. Okay, so you can have a look at that. So the AI prompt starts on page 2. And the most important thing that I want to draw your attention to is this part here where I highlighted in yellow and I indicate that you should replace all information highlighted in yellow and that are in brackets. So AI prompt starts here, and if you scroll down, you'll see that there are a lot of these areas where it allows you to put in information that is true for you and your business. So what you're going to do is highlight and replace these areas. And I'll show you. So let's just work on this together so you could have a really quick example of what this would look like. So just once again, the AI prompt starts up here where it says craft. So you could read this over, but just kind of leave it as it is. But where it says, here are my details, that's where you start entering your information. So all you would do is highlight the entire section that's in yellow and in brackets, delete it, and then type in your information. So my business name. And there we go. And then you just keep going. So your primary local keyword, and that would be your main umbrella keyword, your main overall keyword. Okay, and then you would just scroll down, and here it asks for other keywords if you know them. So if you've done your keyword research and you know some other keywords that'll make you stand out in your specific industry and area, you would just add it in here. Okay, and then for here it says city or area served. So just make this your main area, like the bigger area. So if I'm in Toronto, I would just list Toronto. And then you'll have a chance lower down to put down the specific areas within that city that you offer your services in. Okay, so here, main list of services offered. I gave you some examples. So if you're a plumber, you could put down something like drain cleaning. If you're a massage therapist, you could list specifically you do pregnancy massage. Or if you're an accountant, you could put down that you specifically work on business taxes and so on. So just put what's true for your industry. So under target neighborhoods, this is where you get more specific about the areas that you service. So for example, if you're in Toronto, I would put down something like this. Okay, so Liberty Village, Queen West, and then if I want to go a little bit further north, I would put down Ronsonsville, Parkdale, Trinity, Bellwoods. So then I would cover a bigger geographic area within the Toronto area if I was located there and if that's the area I indeed serviced. Now, based on your area, if you're in a small town, perhaps you look after your small town, but some surrounding areas or some other small towns around your small town. But if you're in a bigger city, it's just much better to really talk to the local community within that specific area. Okay, and then we come to unique selling points. So these are the things that really set you apart and make you different and make you unique. So I put some examples. So if you offer fast service, if that's important in your industry or to your customers, do you offer 24/7 emergency service as if you like an electrician or in some kind of home-based business where they might need your services right away, or pest control or something like that. If you're a family-owned business, if you're in an area that's very family-oriented and that's important to them. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. So in my industry, regular reporting and communication is very important because a lot of people use marketers and then they don't hear from the marketers. So I know that's really important to my customers. Then I also put ROI proven work, which is really important because then I could show customers that I could actually prove that the work I did actually made a difference in their lives. And then I also put down that I'm a proud supporter of the meeting place, which in the Liberty Village area of Toronto is a center for homeless people to drop in. So it's very, very important to that community. And then again, it shows that I'm really part of my local community and supporting my local community. Okay, and then there's a spot for your customer pain points. So really think about your customers. What challenges do your specific customers face? So I gave you some more examples. So in my industry, for example, people are struggling to get found online. For example, right? People are struggling to get traffic, that sort of thing. If you, again, let's do pest control. People want to relocate a squirrel's nest that's in their attic, okay? Or people need to stop a water leak if you're a plumber, or people are late in getting their taxes done if they're a business or something like that. So what are the pain points that your customers need solved right away that would make you stand out? Okay, so for my customer pain points, I put struggling to get found online, they're struggling to get traffic, and they're struggling to get conversions, even if they get traffic. Other differentiators are other things that you want to mention that are unique to you. What else makes you stand out? And this is just to really get you thinking about everything that makes you different. And there's definitely going to be something. So for example, do you have mentions in the media? Do you have some really great reviews that you want to highlight? Do you have awards from within the community? That sort of thing. Okay, so for myself, I put down that I have 25 years of marketing experience. My online courses have over 40,000 students, like whatever, just things that my competitors won't be able to say. Okay, so under power words, again, I gave you some example. And again, are these the words that resonate with your customers? So when you talk to your customers, what kind of words do they usually say about you, right? Are they saying that you're trending? Are they saying that you're fun? Are they saying that you're reliable and they can count on you? So basically, what are they saying about you? And even what you would say about yourself. So if this was for me, I would put down the word experience just because of the years of experience I do have, that I offer guaranteed work and that I offer high performing content. So under special offers, it's really great when people see you for the first time if you grab them with something that you're offering. So I put an example in for you. If you're not quite sure what to offer, you could put in something like 10% off for new customers or 10% off if you say you saw it on here and then you know where they came in from. So I just put down that I'm doing a limited time offer because it's nice to put that sense of urgency behind your offers. So I have a limited time offer where people buy a 20-hour package, then I'm going to give them 5 free hours. And it's really beneficial for me as it is probably for you to get longer term customers in. It's just easier to manage. And then you've got, obviously regular income and something steady coming in. So if they book a minimum of 20 hours, then, I want to give them some type of incentive in order to encourage them to do so. So then we come to customer benefits. And customer benefits are things, again, that are important to your customers. So is fast service important to them, the guaranteed work. And I know some of the stuff is repetitive, but it's just to give you different examples, to get your brain working in different ways, to pull different things that are going to be the most important to customers, or I should say potential customers seeing you for the first time. And if any of these areas you're not quite sure of, it's okay to, before you fill this out, to just basically work with your AI. So feed into AI, what your business is, what you're offering, and the area you serve. And you could say things like, I need some customer benefits, or what are some benefits that potential customers might be attracted to if I say I offer them, or what kind of benefits do customers usually look for in this type of service? Something like that. And then you'll have some information to start adding in here. So let me just show you what I put. So I know just from my industry and working with customers that turnaround time is one of the most important things, because when people need marketing, they need marketing done fast. They need those results fast. Okay. I also put down that I offer customized work because I know for a fact that my competitors do not, and they just use copy paste templates, which I do not. I customize my work to the customer, so that again helps me stand out in my industry. So what helps you stand out in your industry? Then I added some other things like I get more qualified leads visiting their websites, and not just people coming to their websites, but qualified people coming to their websites, for people greater visibility. And I help make people a trusted authority in their fields. So that's just for me. And you could definitely take and borrow some of that and use some of those other examples I gave you just to jumpstart and get you started. And then for the very important call to action. So I gave you a lot of examples that you could use, like request a free quote, visit our website to learn more, follow us on, and then you put the URL for free tips, join our community and then you put the link to your community. Let's talk strategy. Like all of these things are fabulous call to actions. You could even offer freebies. So get this free thing, click here, and then they click on the button and it goes to a landing page that captures your email address, which of course I love as a marketer because it's one of those things that we do a lot of. So I put down schedule a free consultation call because that will help me determine if they're a good fit for me and I'm a good fit for them. So if you're in an industry where people just need a quote really quickly, it'd just be call us for a free quote today. or just something. So they're making that contact. So whether you want them to contact you by email or visit your website where you've got something on your website that's going to take them to an action that they need to do right away, like filling out a form, for example, whatever it is, just tell them where they're going, tell them what they're going to get, and maybe, give them a reason to do it. Because just remember, if they read all this wonderful stuff on you and they know you're different and they're really curious to know if you could help them, give them that call to action and tell them what to do with that information. So now that you've got their attention, you definitely want to take them somewhere else. Okay, and then when you're done, what you're going to do is basically just keep your cursor at the bottom, scroll up to the very, very top, the very start of the prompt, hold down your shift key like that and click again, and that automatically will highlight the entire area for you. Or, of course, you could just use the scrolling method. So start at the top, scroll down to the bottom, and then right click and click on copy. If that works better for you, just do it that way. But basically what you want to do is just select everything, and that's what you're going to feed into your AI, the entire thing, all the answers you put in and all the instructions for the AI. And what I want to say is that this is very, very thorough, as you can tell, right? Very thorough, but that's because this is your template. You want this to be really, really solid. And then once your AI spits it out for you and gives you your results, what you can do is then if you want to make it even better, you could always feed that entire thing, the entire result back into the AI and just tell it what to do with it. So just say, okay, this is great, but could you make it a little bit more high converting? Or could you give me some more action words or recommend something or recommend improvements for me? Whatever. And you just keep working with your AI to massage it and get it as best as it possibly can be. Now, the other thing I want to show you is this area right here. Basically, what I instructed the AI to do is to give you a result and then give you 3 versions of it. And the reason is because as you're in different directories, some directories will only let you put in a few words. Some directories will let you put in a longer description. So this way you have 3 options based on what the directory character length is of what they're allowing for you. And if they give you a little bit more room, make sure you add a little bit more. It's like free advertising space. So totally take advantage of that. Just so you're aware that you're going to get 3 different variations. So you're going to get 3 different outputs with those different character lengths. And then you can go ahead and grab them and you can start using them. So once your master description is just the way you want it, you're going to take it and you're going to be sure to add it to your master business citation worksheet. So now that you've got all that figured out, there's one other very important step to take, and that is to find your existing citations. Where exactly are you already listed online? I'm about to show you in the next lesson. Did you know that other people can list your business listings for you? Now, there are hundreds of online directories, so chances are your business might already be in one of them. So let's go find where your business is already listed online, otherwise known as doing a citation audit. What you're going to want to do is use quotes, because whatever you put inside of quotes in a Google search will tell Google to search what's inside of the quotes exactly. Otherwise, what Google does is it finds similar types of things, and that's what it brings up in search results. So let's say I'm hungry, so let's do pizza. That's a popular pizza place here. So we'll do pizza. So if I own pizza, I would put that in quotes like that to see everywhere I'm listed. Okay, and all I would do is scroll down and just start looking. So I got a citation from Facebook, from Instagram, Wikipedia, DoorDash, Uber Eats, TripAdvisor. These are all fabulous places to get citations from. So basically you get the idea. Globe and Mail, there's a media citation. okay? The Apple Store or Apple app. Apps are great places to get citations. So social media, the media, the apps, the directories, online listings, places like Yelp as well, directory. So Vio and Pizza Pizza, these are some of the places where my business is cited. And if I scroll up to the top, I could look at their results. And, with the exact phrase Pizza Pizza, there are a heck of a lot of results. So obviously, if you're a larger company like that, this would be just a super quick way to do it for your company. But if you're a huge corporation like that, you'll definitely want to use other methods to make it easier. But I like to do this as a quick search just for my business. And you might want to do it for your business too, where you could have just a really quick indication of where your exact business name is showing up online or where it's being cited. The second way is to use a tool that will find your existing listings for you. Now, lucky that there are software and tools that allow you to do this, and most of them are free. Okay. So in order to use a free tool that will go out and find your citations for you, which will save you a lot of time, I suggest coming over to Google search and just using this, just typing in free tool to find my existing business citations. Okay. And basically it's going to come up. So here's one, Local Search Fuel. There's Moz, SEMrush, WhiteSpark, Loginex. Loginex lists 12 local citation software tools. So anyways, you can tell, Bright Local, these are all fabulous and trustworthy names. And because I put in the magic word of free, then hopefully everything listed on this page is going to be an actual tool that I could use without having to pay any money for. And what I find is that some of these tools will give you just a snippet. So they're not going to give you all of your citations that it finds. It's going to give you just a few to get you started. And some of them aren't that accurate, I find, but some are. So use some of the more reputable ones to start, play around with it, see what it comes up with. But basically, what you want to do is really start getting an idea of everywhere that you already listed online so you can start working with those. So now that you know some ways to find your existing citations, just note that there are also handy tools that will not only find your existing citations, but also identify any errors on them. For this lesson, why don't we go ahead and check out what the audit by SEMrush can do. I also listed the link for you down below. Okay, so this is the SEMrush local citation finding tool. And basically, I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, and here, in this area here, check your local listings for free. So let's pretend you own a gym, for example. So let's do Good Life Fitness. That's a popular gym. So Good Life Fitness, the search key, and there's all the different locations that come up. So let me just randomly pick one in Oakville. So basically, as you can tell, it's working, and what it's doing is going out and finding all of the places that Good Life Fitness in Oakville is already listed, and then it's going to pull up some errors that it found. So basically, it's going to give you an overall score. So this scored bad because it found 41 out of their 47 listings need to be fixed. And that's surprising because it's a very popular gym. So I'm very surprised that they only have 47 listings and that 41 of them need to be fixed. So at least their star rating is not too bad, 4.2 out of 5. So if you were a marketing agency, or if you were just offering local listings as an additional service to help your customers out, then this is something that you could definitely do really quickly and take to the customer and say, you're losing a lot of business online. There's a lot of errors. Would you like me to fix them for you, for example? And then you could pick up some extra business that way, right? But if this were your business, you would want to be all over this, and you would want to see exactly what the errors are and exactly where the errors are located. So let's just have a look. Okay, so Facebook, wrong business phone number, Bing, wrong business name, even on Facebook, right? Wrong phone number. But sometimes it's not entirely accurate because you could list your phone number with brackets and then list it without brackets, and it could still pick it up that it potentially could be an error when it in fact is not. So you just have to be mindful of that and check to see what it's saying the error is. So for example, here it's listed as Rebecca Street when it's missing the T at the end. That could be one of the things that triggered that there was an error when in fact it's not really too much of an error. But remember I said it's really important to keep consistent. So that's just a quick thing that they might want to go in and fix, right? And then if you look at something like this on a very popular listing site, Yelp, they're listed as South Oakville Center and their address isn't even appearing. So they would definitely want to hop on that and change it to their business address because not everybody is going to know where the South Oakville Center is if they're looking for that particular business. And then basically, if you scroll to the bottom and it says show all directories, if you want to see more, just go ahead and click that and it'll show you the rest of them. So now you've got a really great starter list of everywhere, if this was your company, everywhere that you're listed or you're cited online, and exactly if there are any errors that have been found. Okay, and here it's even showing some missed opportunities, some places that you might want to be listed that you're not already listed, which is really, really handy. So this is a fabulous place to start, and not exactly SEM rush, but like I said, there are other options. So just pick the option that's best for you. And again, not all options are going to be available in all locations. So once you find a directory that has your listing, the first thing you're going to want to do is claim your own listing. Unfortunately, it could be a little bit of a process depending on what online directory you're on, but it's worth the time it takes. Then you also, of course, want to make sure that your business information is correct and up to date, and you want to make sure that it has a really great description, which I'm going to show you how to do coming up. So here's a special note. If you're a home-based business or you don't see customers at your place of business, so you prefer that your actual place of business remain hidden, what you really want to do is when you find yourself online, you want to check if that directory allows you to hide your address. And if not, you might want to remove yourself from that directory. Because whether you realize it or not, your personal address might be listed as a business address somewhere out there. So my last tip to you is after you find everywhere you're listed online, you want to come back and do this exercise regularly. Because first of all, you want to make sure that your citations are always cleaned up and accurate. And like I said, consistent across everything. So your information is completely up to date. But also, you want to make sure that you don't have duplicate listings, because let's say you create a listing for your business and then maybe you're working with someone and they create a citation for you in the same online directory, or maybe a customer creates a citation for you in that directory as well. So then you've got duplicate listings or triplicate listings, and that's not good either. So you want to make sure that you delete all of those extra listings and that you create and just keep the one that you have full control over. So now it's time to expand your online presence by building new listings. But before we get too far into this lesson, a special note for those of you who want to hide your business address. So like I said, if you're a home-based business or just don't see customers at your place of business and prefer to keep it hidden, that's totally okay. But it's going to be a little bit more work because you're going to have to find the business directories that actually allow you to hide your business address. A lot of these directories make it really easy as well. You simply just check a little tiny box that says that you prefer that your address not be displayed. So some of these places that allow you to hide your address include things like your Google business profile, also Bing, Yelp, Yahoo, YP.com, and HotFrog. So to help you guys, I found this really great link. I'm going to include it down below and click on it. And basically, it's just going to give you a list of places where you could cite your business, add those citations without listing your business address, or where you can list the business area that you service instead. Now, I want to bring your attention to something called no-follow links, because a lot of the listing directories and online listing sites that you go on will intentionally add code that lets Google know not to associate that link with their website. That means that they don't help build your domain authority as much with Google, but they still help. So here are some reasons why. Citation links will not only boost your visibility online, but because they come from some of the most popular sites, they can be a great way to drive traffic to your site while also boosting your rankings. Just not as much as do-follow links would, but you still get some benefit. Also, links from places like social media, you're still going to get those social signals. So even though they're no-follow signals, they are still going to help. And the more links overall that get back coming into your website from social media accounts and social media posts, you're really helping your SEO through something called social signals. And like I mentioned in an earlier lesson, a lot of these really big, huge directories, Google really trusts them. So they're going to dominate page one. So just imagine if you could get your business on page one and also appear on all of those directories that are showing up on page one, and customers can find you there. Just think about how much more powerful that can be to get people back to your business, especially if they're seeing your name a few times. There are many directories out there, but don't get overwhelmed. Just focus on the high impact directories first, or the ones with the most authority, and then gradually build your online presence from there. So what you also want to do is mix up the places where you're listing your citations. So that means citations that come from different types of categories. I made a list of various categories of places where you can start listing your citations just to get you started. So the first place is your Google Business Profile. So if you're in this course, chances are you've already completed your Google Business Profile, but if not, get started because your Google Business Profile is the foundation for your local visibility. The next category is industry-specific directories. So you're going to target directories relevant to what your business offers. So for example, if you're a plumber, you could focus in on plumbing directories or things like home services directories. If you're a massage therapist, you would focus on massage directories or things like natural health directories or even alternative health directories. Location-specific business directories. These are popular places that focus on specific locations like Yelp or Yellow Pages or Angie's List. These directories drive local traffic. You could even try places like your local chamber or board of trade, which are also amazing places to get locally listed. Next, you could try general directories like Bing Places or Yahoo Business or Apple Maps and other places like that. So you also want to list your business on social media. So places like your Facebook business page, for example, will ask for your business information, your business name, your business address, and your business phone number, and your hours and different things like that. Another great category to get your citations from is local newspapers or local media. You also want to try out some industry associations. So any professional or business associations that you need to belong to can possibly offer listing opportunities, and you should take advantage of those. Event listings. So if you participate in a local event, or you list, like let's say you're doing a webinar or something and you list it in one of the local event places or something like Eventbrite, then those are fabulous places where you can get a citation of your business. Also, try out some review platforms. So, list your business on places like Yelp or Foursquare, and these are fabulous places for people to start leaving reviews. Likewise, you could try to get your business on online review aggregators or encourage your customers to leave your review on those. So those would be places like, for example, like G2 is becoming really, really popular, or Trustpilot. So if customers leave a review there for you and other people read it, is really, really powerful. But not only that, fabulous places to get your citations listed on and links coming back to your website. And these all can work really powerfully to build your online visibility and also amplify your online presence. So finding these lists doesn't have to be hard. You could, for example, let's say your business was in Toronto. So you would go into Google and you could type something in like free business directories, Toronto, Ontario, or you could type in free business listings, Toronto, Ontario. So let's have a look at what happens when we type those types of searches in. So all you're going to do is come over to Google search and you're going to type in free business directories or free business listings, and then you're going to add in your city. So I'm going to say free business directories, and I'm just going to type in Toronto or Toronto, Ontario, and then just hit enter, and let's have a look at what kind of directories come up. So the first one's an ad for Zoom Info, and Zoom Info says it's the largest business directory, and I'm like, great. So if I'm going to start, I may as well start in the largest business directory. So that's a consideration. Then there's something called the Local Toronto Business.ca. And I know just by the fact that they're being listed on page 1 and at the top that they have really good domain authority with Google. So these are all fabulous choices to be listed on. So the Toronto Business Directory, I'm definitely going to check that one out. Old Town Toronto. So if I'm located specifically in that specific area of Toronto, then they have their own business directory and I'll definitely want to show up there. Okay, then the library's coming up, just listing that they have a copy of Scott's directory. Okay, the small business directory, again, Small Business Ontario, Small Business Directory, fabulous place to be listed on. And then I would just keep going. The Chamber, Yellow Pages, and there's so much more that you definitely want to look into. Then you have things like this, which will list the top 100 free backlink directories in Canada. So I could also click on these types of lists and see what comes up and see what they're recommending. And then you've got like directories like this, which also show the domain authority of the directory. So this is a really great combination of building citations and also building links, especially if you can find those do follow links, to overall give your online business a big boost by having all these high authority links coming back to your website. So as you can tell, there are many ways to get a list of directories that you can start listing on. But I found one that I think is really going to help you out and that I really like. So I listed the link down below, but let me go ahead and show you. Okay, so here's the site by Bright Local, and what I love about it is it's a very fast way to get started. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you look on the left-hand side, so first thing you've got as an option is the top 50 general business directories. It also has international business directories. So that again is another way just to round out your general list of categories that you're putting your citations in. And of course, if it applies to you, if you do have an international market. And then they've actually even listed places you can list citations with do follow and no follow links. So the do follow links will give you just a little bit more bang for your buck there, and a little bit more powerful on those links. So great. It's just amazing that they took the time to build this amazing resource for everybody. Then they've got top business directories if you're a service area business, which I know most of you are. So you could start off there. Okay. And then they even have by your country. So remember I said it's really important to be able to get directories within your specific countries. So this is a fabulous place to get started. And then they've taken it a step further and you can get listings of citation sites by your specific industry as well. I mean, this is just so wonderful and a really quick way to get started. The other thing I like, so for example, if I wanted to start at the top and I wanted to start with the top 50 general business directories, And I only wanted to start with a few. If you scroll down, what they do is they split it up by domain authority. So I would start with the citation site with the most authority and basically just work my way down from there. So of course, Google Business Profile, 100% domain authority, no surprise there. And then Apple Business Connect. So how many of you knew that you could actually list in Google, but also list in Apple Connect as well in order to build a citation? Then, of course, your Facebook business page, Bing Places, Yelp, Foursquare, and a lot of these other places that we talked about, but a really quick way to get started. And what I also like is they add whether or not the site is free or paid or both. And that way you know ahead of time. If it's something like to be on Waze, you actually have to pay for the listing. So you could choose to just do all the free ones to start and then do the paid ones later. But especially if your business is a brick and mortar type business, it's probably definitely going to be worth your while to pay Waze and make sure that you're listed on Waze because a lot of people use that app. So there you go. Just one more website you can add to your tool belt to help you make your local citation building a breeze. So as you have time, you're just going to go through and pick a few to complete with your business information. So this is called the manual method of citation building, and it's very, very important to understand how to do. So use that sample spreadsheet I made for you to make it easier for you to keep track of where you listed. So on the sheet, again, you're going to put down where you listed, the status of your listing, if it got listed right away, or if you have to wait for approval, link to the listing site, your login information, whether or not you included a promotion. And if you did include a promotion, a reminder to yourself of when to remove the promotion, that sort of thing, just to start getting into the habit of keeping track of everywhere you're listed online. And of course, this will make your job a heck of a lot easier if you ever change your information and you need to remember where to update it. So now that you know how to do that, don't get too far ahead, because in the next lesson, you're about to learn the automated method of building citations. Now I want to show you the automated method of citation building. So there are a number of tools and services that will send your business information to a number of directories at once, while also ensuring that your information remains consistent across all directories. Now, these are paid tools, but luckily they don't cost very much, especially when you compare it to the amount of time it'll save you from doing the work manually. And what's most important is they will update all your information at once if you ever need to make a change, like to your business address or your phone number. And they'll do this and always make sure that your information remains consistent. Now, before getting all excited and jumping off this call and calling a citation building service right away, it's really important to first understand how the citation building service will distribute your information. For example, some services will build your citations manually, while others will use automated tools. If they do it manually, they'll be able to give you the specific login for every single directory, which puts you in control. Now, if they do your listings by automation, your information might always be tied to their systems, which basically means that if you stop paying them, that all your information or some of your information might disappear. Also in future, if you want to make your own updates to some directories, you might not be able to. That's why it's really important to ask those questions. And my job as a trainer is to give you enough information so you know exactly what to ask for to meet your business goals. So let me explain a little bit more about how these services work. In the US and Canada anyway, and many other countries, there are three main ways that your information will be distributed. Direct to the directory sites that their company uses, which is also called direct-to-site submission, or they'll submit your information to third-party directories who will then redistribute your information to a wide list of directories. These are called data aggregators. The third way is by API submissions, but that's more relevant to large corporations who have many locations that they have to manage. Now, choosing a citation building service can be a little bit scary and intimidating, but don't worry. I've got your back. What I did is I developed this wonderful sheet for you, and in it, it's going to equip you with the questions that you need to be asking. When using the checklist, though, I want you to remember that what a citation building service can offer will really vary depending on your location. Also, be very cautious of any service promising any unrealistic number of listings in a very short amount of time or for a very low price when you compare them to other services. There are many listing providers you could choose from. Here are just a few of the most popular ones: Moz Local, SEMrush, Yext, Whitespark.ca, and brightlocal.com. But there are many, many others really worth considering. So I just want to get you started, but I really want you to do your homework, use that checklist, and figure out which is going to be the best for your business. The other thing you could do is just a simple Google search where you can look up things that will compare the services for you. So for example, you could type in things like comparison of citation building services in, and then you would add in your state or province. Or you would type in your city, region, or area, citation building service reviews. Or you could type in best citation building services in, and then your country or your city. Or you could say compare citation building services for, and then you'll put in your industry in your specific country or province or state. Or you could type in review of citation building services in your country. So the reason I gave you different options is because depending on where you live or what industry you're in, you are going to get different types of results. So try these different options to see what works best for you so you can get those comparison charts that are already done that compares the citation service providers in your area. So that way you can easily compare which service provider is going to give you the best visibility and the best online exposure to get you more local business. And that way you'll be able to get some really nice comparison charts that will really save you some time. So you can decide to manually do your listings, which I suggest you at the very least try. I want you to become familiar with what's included and the type of information you can include. And then, of course, you can use automated services, but I suggest doing a little bit of both. So that way on your own, you could target directories or places where you could do citations that your listing service might not necessarily target. So for example, media sites or again, very specific niche sites or very specific community sites or newspapers that you want to add your information to get people clicking back to your website. So all of those places to do your citations could really help you ramp up local business. And that way, when you add on a citation service provider, you're really able to extend your reach and extend the different types of categories that your business is going to be appearing in. No matter what method you choose, though, I really encourage you to get started right away. I mean, like today, like right now, but not until you watch lesson 4. So I'll see you there. So far we've covered how to prepare before listing your citations, how to find your existing citations, and how to use a service to help you build citations. Now, before you proceed any further, I really want you to have answers to these very typical questions that come up. What if a directory or listing is asking for payment? Many directories offer a free basic listing, but will give you the option to upgrade to premium features to enhance your visibility. You don't have to upgrade though. My suggestion is to focus on the free listings first. Once you see that a free listing is performing well, such as bringing you in leads for your business, or if the directory is ranking on page 1 of search results for your industry, then I definitely suggest upgrading to give yourself an extra boost and to get even more customers from those listings. How much time will it take to build my citations manually? While the master citation sheet you started will help make the process easier, building citations manually can be very time consuming. So just start with a few high impact directories first, focus on a few every other week or so, and then gradually build your presence over time. So once you upload your information to a directory, it could get approved in a few days, or it could take up to 2 weeks or longer if the directory is popular or if they have a really extensive verification process. So knowing that it could take a little while for approval, even more reason to get started sooner rather than later. How much time will it take to build my citations using a citation service? The turnaround time for a citation building service can vary depending on several factors. Generally, though, most of those services can complete the initial build of your citations within 1 to 4 weeks. So, this involves submitting your business information to various directories and possibly some of those data aggregators that we talked about. There are several factors that can affect the turnaround time now, such as the number of directories that are being targeted, how long some of those directories take to verify your information and approve the submission, and whether the listing service is doing direct manual submissions or automated submissions. Also, the number of clients they have already in queue, and so on. How do I build my citations if I have more than one location? For multiple locations, you will want to create unique citations for each of the locations, each with its own specific address and specific phone number. This will ensure accurate search results for each of your locations. So, what's the difference between citations and links? Citations are online mentions of your business name, address, and phone number. Links, on the other hand, are clickable word sentences or images that will direct user from one website to your website. Both citations and links are a really important part of your local SEO, but citations specifically help you build your online local presence. How long will it take to see results? Once your citations are up and approved in the directories you targeted, you can see results within days to just a few weeks on popular directories, especially if you have positive reviews. The more consistent and accurate your citations are across all platforms, the more they will help with your local search ranking and increase your local visibility. Remember, consistency is key. By dedicating a small amount of time each week or every other week, you can greatly improve your local search ranking and online visibility. Congratulations! You've just taken a giant step towards local search domination. By implementing the strategies you just learned in this mini course, you're going to attract more local customers, boost your online presence, and finally see your phone ringing. So here's a quick recap of what we covered. You learned how to build your NAP, otherwise known as your business name, address, and phone number, and ensure that it's consistent. And this is your online fingerprint, so please make sure it's the same everywhere. Then you also learned how to claim and optimize your existing listings, which is very important because this could be free advertising for you. Then you also learned how to expand your local presence with new listings. So this is where you're going to target new directories to reach even more customers looking for your services. And finally, we learned how to create strong business descriptions that are designed to convert. This is your chance to tell your business story and highlight what makes you different and unique, plus, of course, that very important call to action. Now, to stay on top of search results, you should also maintain your listings. Schedule regular reviews of your existing citations and keep your NAP information and description up to date with any changes, such as if you move or have a new phone number or even add on new services or new products that you can offer. You're also going to regularly monitor for duplicate listings and remove those, because duplicate listings can confuse the search engines. So use some of the tools recommended to locate them and to delete them. And finally, we briefly touched on getting more customer reviews, but I know you already know this. Positive reviews are golden for local SEO. So go ahead and ask those happy customers to leave your review on your Google business profile, but also on those other important directories that you're getting business from. I'm so happy to be your guide today on this very important mini course. So please don't delay. Don't wait a second longer. Take action right now. So I'm Trisha, and from my local business to yours, I'm wishing you a ton of online business success.